Rena?
Yes, hi, how are
Hi.
you?
Did I'm sorry. Your first name, did I pronounce it wrong?
You can do anything you want. At
No,
this
I don't
point,
want
it doesn't matter anymore.
No, it does to me. And I was thinking about it earlier. And I know, and then I was stumbling over the Lenormand. Is it
Yes,
Lenormand?
Lenormand.
Okay, that's right. There's so many different ways I've heard them say it,
Yeah,
pronounce it.
Lenormand, it's, tomato, tomato. It's
Yeah,
all
tomato,
good.
tomato, and chiclet and gum.
Exactly. I don't care. As long as you use it, you can call it anything you want.
But is it no really your name? I want to make sure because I was saying, is it Reina?
It's Rena.
Rana?
It's Rena.
Okay, so I want to make sure. So do you want me to say Rana or Rena?
Rena. Just Rena.
Oh, okay. You've got
You can say
okay.
Reina. It's fine.
No, but it's Rana, like Rana.
No, no,
Okay.
no, not Rena. It's
Oh,
Rena.
okay.
It's a short A.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got it. You know what? I would like you to tell everybody. I was reading up where are you from, and how. Before we get into your work, but you are from somewhere very interesting. Where your family
Yes, I'm from Beirut, Lebanon.
there. That's why I can't pronounce your name. And so I was reading about a very interesting family background. And well, could you just give us a background about who are you, like when you started, and how you got into your work?
Um, who am I when I started? Like growing up, you mean? Um, well, I was born in Beirut, Lebanon. I grew up there. The time I grew up, it was civil war, so there was a lot of bombing and shootings and kidnapping and you name it. One day you go to school and 5 days you don't because of the bombings. There's there was I used to see things and hear things and stuff like that, and it wasn't normal. It's not, I mean, usually around people, like they look at you different.
Yeah.
And fortunately my mom knew that her family, this is like something in her family, so you know she helped me, and she was the whole time supporting me, and she didn't put me in a loony bin or drugged me or anything. So I was blessed in that way. And I mean, this is how I grew up, and I got to read the cards since I think around 11, 12, and then I started getting in more and more and more, and I would read for the everybody, like their friends and family, the whole neighborhood, the neighbors. People would come to me with plates of sweets and cakes and you name it, so I can read and um, give them, like they like to sit down and do a reading and find out what's going on and what's going to happen. When are they getting married? When my son's gonna get a job, and I mean, stuff like this. And
Right.
I was a kid. I mean, I was just, telling them what I'm seeing. That's it.
Did you utilize any tools like tarot? Did you have tarot cards? Did you read? What did you?
No, it was mostly Lenormand with
Okay.
whatever I see. It was like a Lenormand and combination. It was the cards, a deck of cards with combination of feelings and pictures I get,
Right.
and it's like a some sort of a combination that was going on.
Right, and I understand what you're saying with that because I'm not I'm a self-taught reader.
Uh-huh.
My I just connected, and I didn't like all the interpretations don't matter. I started drawing pictures of what I felt or saw or whatever. So with you began with the Lamar. So
Yeah,
with
with a
that right
Lenormand.
away, that to me is fascinating because, like I was talking earlier before we started the show with there's a couple other my co-hosts are on here with us too, and I was talking about nothing late. Right now, it's become very popular. It's a big hype buzz right now. it's come to the U.S. of A. anyway. I know this has been around
Yeah.
forever,
Yeah.
but I'm sure you've noticed that in the book. I have not read it, but boy, I've been reading a lot about it. It sounds absolutely great, and I want to get it. By the way, but I was when I was reading it, I did read that you started immediately. Like for you at that age, most of us over here don't haven't even heard of it, or what is that, right? So
I
could
didn't
you?
even know what it is actually. I didn't know the name of it. I didn't know. I mean, it didn't have a cover. It didn't have a box. It didn't have. I mean, I did not know anything about it. I was just using it. I saw my mom using it. And then I was just using it. I said the whole story in details in the book, so I'm not going to go
Right,
in all the little details. You got to get the book.
right.
Um, but I was just, I really did not know until like I was, you know, here in the US after 3 kids, and the deck is like tattered and it's falling apart in my hand, and I'm like, is there a possibility I can get another deck? And then I started doing research, and then I found, oh my God, I can actually get another deck. I thought like I cannot get another deck. So that was amazing.
Wow.
And then I found the name, and then I found, I mean, this is all recent for me, like, you know, the last, you know, 6 years or so.
Really? Wow, that is interesting. Well, I Mary Greer. I interviewed her. It's probably been about a month ago,
Uh-huh.
and I adore her because my, I books were my mentors, and a lot of anything about Mary Greer, I just adored her and really
Yeah.
respect
She's
her.
fabulous. Yeah.
She just raves about you, and which I think is quite lovely and
It's a
well
big
deserving, I'm
honor.
sure. You know, but as far as I did a little bit of the history, did a little bit of the history, and I know it was this woman. Allegedly, there's some things about her, but who it was, she, created this 36. Is it 36 cards? Is
Well,
that what?
no. Okay, so obviously I did a whole lot of research about trying to find out for the book about who Mademoiselle Lenormand is. So first, Mademoiselle Lenormand was a huge, like really, really huge in her time. She was a huge seer. She was in everything. She was like you would call right now a major celebrity. Everybody would go to her if you're a king or a pauper or anything. And I think she used that to her advantage. I mean, she used to. Would see like the people that own the land and all the
Mm,
castles and everything, and at the same time she would see their servants, you know, so she was
right.
getting information from, you know, all around. I mean, she
Uh,
was good. She was a good psychic. She did everything possible. She used every single tool. I think her first deck was a regular card,
right.
regular playing card,
50. Right.
and she
50.
was dying to get her the first Eteia. It was like Eteia was around that time, but she couldn't afford them when she was a kid. And eventually she got the Eteia, and then eventually I mean, she did. I mean, she uses the eggs. She uses a rooster. She uses um, the crane to do like a crane reading. She was good. I mean, that I can tell. I mean, from reading and doing a lot of research, but at the same time, she used information also. Like
Hmm.
I can, from her reading, I can see that she was using information from here and there to help. You know, because she was into a lot of politics, and she was in a time of a lot of turbulence during the revolution,
Oh,
after the revolution, with the
right.
royalty, after that. So she went into prison many times, but there is a lot of writings that she did read for Josephine, the wife
Napoleon.
of Napoleon Bonaparte,
Right.
and he jailed her. Like there was an incident that he actually, when he wanted to divorce Josephine, he jailed her so she wouldn't tell her. And
Oh,
then there's a couple of writings not from her that she actually read for the czars of Russia, and he would call her. So she was pretty known and famous because
right.
she wrote a lot of books. She wanted to write. Nobody would publish her books, so she ended up buying her own printing company, and she started pumping her own books and writing and writing. And,
Wow. In
I mean,
that time period, that's pretty
it's not
big.
writing. You know, it's like self promoting. You know,
Yeah, exactly. She's like,
herself
yeah.
majorly. Um, yeah.
So,
So, but when she died, it was her. She had a huge fortune at the time, and her procession was so big that the papers wrote it was like a royalty procession or something. This is how revered she was. So, but the deck, so Lenormand deck, there's a lot of research that it was by Hetchel, by there was somebody else that did it and she used it. I mean, we don't know if she used it or not, but from doing all the research and doing everything, she was in Belgium. She was in Belgium in prison, and then she stayed there for a while. And I have a feeling like from reading everything that this deck actually passed her hands and she used it, and somebody just used like, hey, she used this deck, let's put her name on the deck. So we give it more a boost. And basically she would use anything to do readings.
Right, like you said, and those you were talking. She'd do anything that could be used as a tool. So I see. So what you're saying is someone just handed some of a deck. She didn't like create this particular deck, but they call it after her.
No.
Okay, that's fascinating.
This is what we believe so far, that it's a marketing.
Right. Well, so with you, so for instance, they do have a particular deck in our time that we can go out and buy called. Yeah. Okay, and what exactly is the difference between that? I know there's, when I started 25 years ago, there were barely any decks out of tarot card. I mean, out of tarot, there weren't hardly any. Now there's so many different, as you know, there's everything from everything called everything decks.
Yes.
So
they're trying to do the same thing with the Lenormand now.
Are they? Okay, that's what I wanted to know. So that's too bad. So okay,
it's all good. I mean, things are always evolving as it should be. I mean, nothing stays the same, right?
Well, that's true. But you, when you wrote, because to me, I couldn't have gotten a better guest to talk about this than you, obviously, because authentically you know it all, and you know because you've done all the research, but. I guess if I was I utilize tarot as my main tool. So if I wanted to ask you this: if I came to you and said, "Listen, I want to, see about, bringing them together," or is there a benefit for someone like me that just has been utilizing the tarot? I don't need it all the time in front of me, and I kind of go off of it. Like I said, I don't read it like a book learned person. But if you add it with that, is the benefits great?
I think it's a great benefit because I do use tarot right now, and I use many other stuff. But the great, I have many tarot students that are they come from the tarot world, and it really expands your whole reading ability. Not per se like the way you see things and everything. It's just it expands your prediction. It expands the way you see, because when you learn the system, first you have to learn the system. 1 + 1 = 2. You have to learn that system and how it works and how the meaning works together. And as soon as you learn that, you will see that it's very, very, very precise and very clean and clear cut for a certain question that needs a straight answer, like a very, very straight answer, as in, am I going to sell the house? Well, you can't sell it. You have to fix something in it before. It will show you that, it will literally show you, like the card, for example, the snake will tell you, well, there's some problem in the house that you need to fix before, and then you'll be able to sell it. And it will give you like that full sentence. This is what's cool about the Lenormand, because it's that clear. I mean, you would see it. It would just pop right there. The sentence is like, there's no doubt, and you wouldn't think twice about it. This is the tarot. I love it. I love it when we're dealing with counseling. I love it when we're dealing with getting into the subconscious and what's really behind the way he's acting, and why is he treating her that way, and why is she feeling that way, and all that. It's amazing the way it works. in that domain. We can use that. We can use the normal like that too, but the tarot goes deeper. It has more of, you know,
Right.
to it, in that aspect. uh, the Lenormand is more like clear, say, well, she's not talking to you right now because she is talking to somebody else. It would be very straightforward, and it would tell you very, very clean.
That's what my understanding was, because the tarot sometimes has so many different meanings at times that the adding the Lenormand, I know I don't say it right, but that it's more precise, or so whatever, because, well, it's more about the numbers or something, or is it good for when I was reading about it, it just sounded fantastic. And then I was thinking, if you can help me in my own head, I was thinking, okay, well, if I was doing a reading, and like, I don't do this, for me, I don't do that cross thing. I don't go with I just kind of put out whatever I want or not. And so, is there a particular, if the way
as in, if there's a cross or there's a way, well, you can do the same thing in Lenormand. You can do the same thing in Lenormand. There is actually a grand tableau that you can, if you want to go and give a reading to somebody and just look at their life. The grand tableau is using the whole 36 cards, and you can it's like a snapshot of their life at that moment, of what's going on in their home, what's going on in at work, what's going on with their family, what's going on. It's just a quick snapshot, what's going on with their health. It just gives you a snapshot of everything, of what's going on in that person's life at that moment. Now you can go that route, and then you can go a different route by doing it the same way, like just whatever question you have, and just pull as many cards as you want, and whatever you feel, you stop, just like you're doing it with the tarot.
And so when you add the tarot with it, I mean, this is like I said, when I was talking before the show started to my co-host, I haven't been passionate about getting out and learning about, or getting more involved with something until now. And it may be because, okay, it's not because I'm on with the hype of things. It's because I've heard about them before, but now it seems like more and more. Even I married Greer, we spoke a little bit about it. I had another woman on, who's a psychologist that uses, and she was talking about how she's getting real into the Lenormand. And so I was wanting this is something I really think that I'd like to integrate into my readings. So
when you use it with the tarot?
Yes, with the tarot.
Your question? Okay, so sometimes, this is what I found so far. Sometimes it tells you, it would repeat the same thing. It's like, you really didn't get it? Are you really didn't get it? You want to try it again? So it would repeat it again. And this is like sometime when it's really highlighting it. And sometime what it does is just, it's basically takes your card, your tarot card, and then it brings down the one meaning that you're looking for. Basically, it tells you, no, don't look at the aspect of the ego. Don't look at for example, if you get the strength card, and I mean, and then you get, let's say, I'm trying to think here of cards to put in. You get the what do you call it? The bear with the Lenormand on the strength card. You know, this is here, it will bring it down to, no, this is, you need like to have your own power. You need to, you will tell your client, this is, you will know, like, this is not about ego. This is not about you coming out into your, you know what I mean? It doesn't, it brings it down. It highlights the meaning that one meaning in the tarot dictionary of that card.
I got it. That's why I think it's so. Like I said, that's why I have you on as a guest. Your expertise in this. But I'm following what you're saying, and I find it really. I know I'm really curious.
Back of my book, actually, I have a couple of examples on how to utilize those both tools together, and how it came out with me in real life readings.
Right. So you use personal, and that's, I read about that with you. I identified with that because you read about on your personal experiences. A lot of times, that's how that's how I get what I get. Pretty much, sometimes, most of the time, it's a lot about my own personal stuff, and it's not like it's always about me. but you know what I've gone through. That's how I learned them. I would look at them and I would get these feelings and my emotions. I used to draw pictures. That's how I learned the tarot. I instead of books, I drew, and then I went to books. I drew what I felt and whatever I was feeling.
Exactly.
Whether so with what I read about how you approached it is. A lot of it's kind of the same because you have your personal experiences in life, right? Is that correct?
Yes, yes, correct.
Yeah.
Yes, the book is mostly like it's all real readings. I changed the names, of course.
Right.
Between I ask permission from clients that it's going in the book, and of course, and it's all like personal, basically how I grew up with it and how the Lenormand card worked with me
Right.
during all these years. And I try to explain as much as I can and on in every reading how I came to the advice, or how I came to the I try to explain as much as I can in every aspect and in every way, and I give a lot of different scenarios and different positions and everything. So
So when you read,
it's
you do that with your clients. You do explain how this is how the whole thing's coming together. You
It
explain.
depends on the client. It
Uh
depends.
huh.
If the clients are not readers
You're
and they're
right.
not interested in learning about, reading, because I have a lot of clients that they don't care about, how and what. They just want to know
Yeah.
answers. And they're paying to know answers. They don't want explanation. They don't want any of
Right.
that. And I have other clients that are readers that actually that are learning. And this is where I explain
I.
more. I explain on how I got here and
So they're
why I
getting
said what.
they're getting the best of both worlds because you're almost like giving them a class as
I
well.
know.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
But
You,
I'm good. I'm happy with it because
you,
it's such an amazing tool that I really wish that everybody can use it. And when they start using it and they see the benefit of it, it's just another tool. It's like having another device, what
exactly.
we have, an iPad and whatever, and phones or whatever. It's just another device, really. It's a tool that it will help you see so many things, and it's an amazing tool. I mean, everybody, I'm teaching a lot of kids right now, and they're using it for school and stuff, and
Oh,
they're loving it. They're just loving it because um, it's not very vast like the tarot, which is, I mean, the
right.
tarot is amazing. I'm not,
No, I understand what
the
you're
tarot. I
saying.
mean, I cannot, I want my tarot deck to be with me all the time. It's the same with
Right.
the Lenormand deck. So, but with the kids, for example, they just want like this. They want to be fast. They want to know,
Right.
I mean,
Right.
am I gonna ace that test? Am I gonna, go out with this girl? So it's like, it's very quick. One card, two cards, you'll get the answer. You get the sun. Yes, you're gonna ace the test. You get the book. No, you need to hit the books again and go study.
Right. No, I like that too because, in fact, speaking of which, when you're reading for younger people, even well, when my daughter was younger, I have her parents' permission. They have to call up and see for entertainment.
Yes.
I never
Yes.
want to get in trouble with them, right? The
Well, of
parents,
course. Yeah. That's
but
what I'm
it's
saying. Yeah.
yeah, but it's nice because they do want. Well, sometimes I'm sure when you're doing your work all over the place, and you're time restrained. People want a fast. You're giving them a gift of a reading, whatever. You have to be fast. And with me, that's always been difficult because I get so much. So this is what I am really really interested in. Well, I know I'm going to pursue getting. Do you teach classes on this?
I do teach classes. I go to a lot of conferences. I present in a lot of conferences.
Uh
I've done
huh.
Reader Studio, I've done Bats, and I'm doing it again. I've done TarotCon. I was a main presenter for the last couple of years. I'm going again this year also. So yeah, I teach a lot of workshops and classes, and
Right,
it's
and I know
on.
so you have a blog. You do have a blog, right? You have a blog where you talk. You just
I don't have a
focus
blog.
on it's
I don't have a blog. No.
it's on no blog radio. I saw something on your website. Uh,
Oh, I teach. We did on Terra Tribe. We did World Tribe. Oh my God, I forgot the name of it. With Donnelly, I did. We did a whole series of classes that are free, so anybody can go and listen to them.
okay, so
It's a
those are
whole series of a lot of classes. So
right. Okay, great. That's what I saw. It's on your website, in which we will talk. We will get that out. It's on your guest page too, as well, forever
yeah.
on our site. Oh, that's great. So people can. Yeah, that's great. One of my co-hosts had a question he wanted me to ask you because he's doesn't have very good the tech gods aren't being good to him, but his name is Steven, and he's asking. He's curious if you can answer this. Curious about the organization of the deck. How many major arcana or how many minor or court cards? Is there anything to that makes sense with the?
Okay. No. Hi, Stephen. No, there isn't. It's not like tarot at all. There is no major and minor arcana. It's none of that. There's 36 cards, 1 through 36, and each card has a little picture on it, and that picture means something. For example, the writer means news. It means somebody coming to you, feedback, or somebody calling you, or a guest coming. That's an example. A book, it means knowledge, and it means studying. It means so it depends on the context. With Lenormand, you need the context. The context is everything.
Right.
Context is everything, and the question is more important than the answer, because the way you frame the question, you will get the answer. If you frame the question vague, you will get a vague answer. But if you frame it very precise, you will get a precise answer. And basically what you do is you put these words and you put them together and you make a sentence and you will get an answer. So it's not like major arcana, and it's not like tarot at all. At all. So it's totally different feel, totally different way of looking at it. It's a totally different system. It's a totally different tool.
System. Yeah.
Basically, I would say Android, and no, it's more. No.
Well, I know there's a key. There's a card with a key on it.
There's a card with a key on it. Yes, the card with a key on it is basically the key is opening a solution, having your wow moment. You get the solution. You have the key. You have the access code.
Right.
This is the key. There is a couple of cards that are the same, like the sun. The sun would be the same, victory, success, all that kind of stuff, the same as the tarot card. But then there's the tower. And the tower in Lenormand is neutral, is not devastating. The world is not crashing down over your head. Nobody's pulling any rug under you. The tower in Lenormand is very neutral, and it just talks about limitation. It talks about being alone. It talks about boundaries. It talks about corporate, anything that needs deals with government or institutions and stuff like that. There's also the moon. The moon is also not the same. The moon is a happy moon here, and it's more about love and romance, and
because it is a female aspect of this. I mean, really, I like that.
It's not like scary. Oh my God, watch out! It's very, very seductive. And the stars. So this is basically the only cards that are the same. The stars is the same, very close to the tarot. But those are the only cards that are actually the same that you will find in a tarot card, but tarot deck. But that's it.
So are they? So not one or the other? Because the tarot, there's a major and there's a minor, right? Forget about the court cards. So in the Lenormand cards are equally hold their own.
Yes. You cannot say major or minor or anything, because they are like they're just. I mean, it's like having I don't know, an orange and a asparagus. I mean, you can't. It's different.
I like asparagus and oranges. Yeah. That's great. That's what popped in my head. That's really good. That was good for you. I think. Well, from what I understand, and everybody's listening out there, and we have a chat room too. Hello, everybody in the chat room. That your book and I, and Mary Greer just praised it, and apparently there's so many great reviews, and I did look through it, and I am going to get it, but from what my understanding is, and unless I'm wrong, but I don't think so, you really put things in an easygoing, in a way for people to understand, even somebody that's never read tarot. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes. I have people sending me emails telling me that this is so simple, so easy. I've never done any. I don't belong into the world of this whole metaphysical world, and this is so easy. It should be called Lenormand for dummies or reading for dummies. And I don't know. I took it as a compliment.
Yeah,
And
I think so.
it was good, but it's yes. So basically, anybody can pick it up. If you're 10 years old, if you're 100 years old, you will.
And they're not as threatening, are they, as for some, because they don't cross over to tarot the evil. They're not like it.
I see. I don't see anything as the evil, but yes,
I know, but you know how people do.
Yes, when you're outside and you want to pull a deck of cards, it's like pulling. People look at it. It's like pulling regular pack of cards. Playing cards. And they're easy. I mean, they're super easy. You can take a regular pack of cards actually and make a Lenormand deck out of it. You really don't need to buy a deck. And I tell you in the book how to do it. So
yeah. So and I hear like it's very and we're gonna take a break just for a moment from our sponsor psychicaccess.com, and we'll be right back.
A new era in psychic services has begun. PsychicAccess.com. You can connect with our psychic advisors by telephone or chat 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. All of our psychic advisors are interviewed, fully verified, and accuracy tested, assuring you quality service. We're living in some very troubled times right now. More and more, the world's problems are affecting us on a personal level. You don't have to deal with this alone. Our highly accurate psychics, caring advisors, and talented mediums can help with situations you are currently experiencing and can let you know what the future may hold for you. All new customers get a free 6-minute reading. All you have to do is register. Why not visit us now and get a free reading at psychicaccess.com.
Okay, and we're back having a lovely and I say fascinating conversation about oranges and asparagus.
I know.
And no, with Rana George, and I would like to ask you about if have you noticed? Well, I've noticed. I've had a lot of guests on that, and I have an older sister who's also a psychologist. A lot of people are using the tarot with some of their clients, which is fantastic. But have you noticed that because I know you're traveling all over, because I've had a hard time tracking you down. I know you're a busy woman, and congratulations with the book coming out, by the way. But I'm wondering because you said you go to you do the TarotCon and speak, right? Is that correct?
At the studio and Bats, right. Francisco Bats.
Right. So have you noticed a lot of professional academia people are now utilizing that with their practice?
Yes, it's amazing, and they're coming to the classes and they're enjoying it. Yes, definitely, I'm getting a lot of good feedback that they're actually using it in the practice, and they're getting a lot of good feedback also. So yes, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This is why I'm like, yes, use it.
Were you in when did you decide to write this book? Was it something in the making for a long time?
No, I was at Reader Studio one year, and I was sitting with a bunch of friends, and basically they pushed me to write the book, that you need to write the book. And I did a little mini impromptu kind of mini class to see, and people were clamoring and they loved it so much. And then I wrote the book. Took a year of writing the book, and it was grueling, but now it makes it all worth it now.
Well, I feel that you target it, like I said, to people that may not have an insight to, if somebody says, "Oh, I want to learn tarot," and that wasn't me, but anybody else, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
There's billions, there's so much information, so many different meanings, and so many interpretations, and that and so on. But from what I, like I said, I didn't read your book, but I read all the reviews. I mean, I did a lot of research, and I feel like I know who you are writing this book. But from the thing that I was really attracted to, because I was looking at other people's, on their book or whatever, a little bit confusing in my mind, just from opening up this table, the contents of what was in it. That, from what I understand, people are really saying that yours is very clear and concise about what you wrote about, and you do give meaning to each of the cards. And from what I understood, yeah, that's true, correct? On everyone,
under every context.
Right. And you also talk about people that utilize tarot, how to utilize, fuse them together, or bring them together.
Uh-huh.
And to me, from what a little bit I did read a little bits and pieces, it's not intimidating. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. It's not intimidating at all. It feels real natural.
I don't see it intimidating, maybe because I grew up with it, but at the same time, I see my kids using it, and they're not. My youngest son lost a book, and he pulled his cards out to see where his book is. My oldest wants to see where is, how is he going to do on his test today, and he pulled the card, and he was very happy that he got the sun, and today he came back and he's like, yes, I aced it. And it's very simple. It shouldn't be intimidating. I don't think any.
I think Americans just get intimidated.
No. If you use, you have to put a commitment. This is very important. You have to be committed. Do you want to use that tool? Do you, you see the benefit of, other people talking about it, and
right.
Do you want to try it? Are you committed to practice? Because it doesn't work without practice. I'll tell you right now, it does not work without practice. You might hit it here or there, but to actually work with it with clients, you really need practice. You need to practice a lot. So you will have a rapport between you and the cards and the deck, and it will be like imprinted. It's the same thing with any tool. It's the same thing with your tarot deck. The more you practice, when you get that card, you know what that card means and in what situation it usually comes. So the same thing will happen with the Lenormand deck. It's practice. And I say, like, practice on TV, practice on shows, practice on anything, elections, games, who's gonna win we did who's gonna win the football. We did the sex of the royal baby.
Oh, baby.
It's all practice, and as long as you come to it as you're playing and you're having fun, and it's not like, oh my God, I have to study. No, there is no studying in it. It's just practice and having fun. This is how I approach it. You don't have
I like that, having fun with it instead of taking it.
I think it can be a walk in the park if you let it and if you're enjoying it. If you're not enjoying the process, then no, it's not for you. You know what I mean?
Right. I utilize, actually, again, self-taught in astrology and numerology. So when I've reading my card, when I'm using my cards, I don't do it all the time. It's not like I have a rule of things, but sometimes I might, or see a color that might stand out, and it doesn't mean anything I've read or about it before, or as a numerology, or certain numbers will come up, or astrological connections. So is this the same that I'm wondering, do you personally, does that have any connection in astrologically speaking, or numerology, or in any of these cards that come up?
No. No,
Okay.
there's no Kabbalah, no astrology, no numerology.
Okay, then it is
Not the
completely.
esoteric stuff. It's very simple. It's
That's
very,
right.
hi, how are you? Hi. It's like talking to your friends over a cup of coffee about your day, about what your friend's doing, your day about with your mom or your boyfriend or your husband. It's just basically sitting and just literally talking, or you can say gossiping. I mean,
Yeah.
it is that simple. There's nothing deep. It's not, I mean, you can if you want to like start seeing
Right.
things into things, but you can see things into a fork, for example. Oh, the fork is up because it's, you know what I mean?
Right.
Um, but it's very, very, very down to earth. It's very, there's nothing, there's no that deep, um,
The
esoteric, like,
meaning exactly. It's
yeah.
more straightforward, like you said. And so, with that said, that's why I feel that it would definitely
Yeah,
be a plus.
yeah, yeah. No,
Uh,
no, no, none of that, none of that.
for it would be a plus for tarot readings, absolute, or for people that have been reading tarot.
Yes, it
I'm just
would
saying.
bring. See, this is what happened. It would bring them. It will narrow. What happened? It narrows it instead of making it so wide the road when you're reading tarot. It really narrows it to and focuses it on the actual subject
Right.
or
No,
issue.
I get what you're saying. It actually, so it's more predictive. Is that a better way of putting it? It's more predictive. It would be
Oh, yeah, it's a predictive tool. Yeah, you can use the
right.
tarot as predictive tool. I mean, it started people using it as predictive, and
Yeah,
I mean
but
that's. I mean, if you read any of the Golden Dawn and all that kind of stuff, and even Eteia was using it as predictive, because
right.
people do predict. People come to people for predictive reading. This has been going on since Babylon's time.
Yeah. But also people won't also if they're not going to listen to me with the way well I approach reading a little bit differently. We have choices, but if people you can take a negative, bring it into a positive. If they want to open up to something, they could direct themselves to where. But also it probably would help with is it like I'm asking. I mean, they made no questions, Dom. Okay, but is it like some people are really good at they want to know time frames, for instance. But you're saying like your son, he
It's
does one
very
for the day.
You can do the time frame, but right now I'm noticing the time is really going wacko for some reason. I'm noticing from
Really?
my readings, people calling me saying, "You said this is not going to happen until 3 weeks, and it just happened now," or vice versa, or something is happening. I mean, time is really it's like pinning water on a tree. So, but you can give a rough estimate of time. Also, when I say predictive, not everything. I never ever take the power from the client. When
Yes, that's right.
I talk about this in my book also. When I do, I mean, when I was a kid, it was like for me, it was everything set in stone because I didn't know any better. I didn't know. I would say, well, this is gonna happen. This is what I see. Oh well. But
Right.
I mean, during my life and growing up and evolving and doing a lot of experiment, I found no, well, this is going to happen, but you know what? Let's try to change it. I think we can change it. We have the power to change it, and I discovered
Right.
sometimes yes, we can change it, and sometimes we don't. But it does. You do have the power to change something, and I find it like when you see something is coming and you're prepared that it's coming. If you can't change it, at least you're prepared.
If
And
you
this is a
yes.
thing, it doesn't hit you like it's coming, from out of nowhere.
Right.
I mean, this is from reading, throughout my life. This is with people and with a lot of clients. This is the stuff I discovered how it works and how. So yes, predictive. Yes, I do predict. And am I sometime wrong? Yes, I do get sometime wrong, but I am human. I'm not like
Well, yeah,
but
I know. I know. Some
I,
people, yeah.
I'm mostly my prediction are have been very highly accurate. There is here and there like little snags here and there, but I guess this is normal with anything.
Right. But I mean, with because you were bringing up like with your children, like I loved how you said, your son will say, well, what about today? And well, that's his personal power. He wanted to know about his test, right? So, it's almost like putting out there for the day. And I'm just wondering if using it, if you, what your feeling was or what your thoughts are about using it along with the tarot, if it's better, if you can come to a better, closer time frame than most. And I do agree with you about people that, as I tell people, listen, you can go this direction. I say go this other direction, it's more positive. You have a choice. And every negative can be a positive if they choose to listen to it. But on time frames and such, sometimes I've been a year off or whatever. I don't proclaim to be, a predictive psychic so much in my tarot readings, but I feel that maybe using the both of them, maybe
give you a better timing. Yeah, possibly. I mean, to make sure, I'll be like, okay, well, this looks like in the summer. Let me pull out, my tarot deck. And then, you'll get let's say the swords. For me, the swords are winter. And I'm like, well, this is winter. So what do I do now? I mean, it's like... I don't know if you'll confuse yourself or, I mean, it's worth a try. I mean, it might help.
I think it's absolutely phenomenal what you're saying. In fact, even more so because it just feels like it's not astrology or fusing it or looking at all these things. It feels like it's just an added sister or an added, someone covering you, having your back on something. Or being able to articulate better or something of that nature. And I'm certainly going to, and like I said, I really appreciate running. I found you, I wasn't looking, but I always find the right guest, and for whatever I'm supposed to do on the topic, I wasn't planning this topic, but I see your book, and then I read about you, and then from there it went on, and I approached you, and you are the best person to approach for this. But this is something that, I mean, it's been so many years, and it's really nice to know that I feel there's something I really do want to maybe reach out to and bring into what I've been doing for years. And absolutely, I think anybody's listening out there, I feel, and people that also want to learn tarot, it is kind of difficult. I know I used to teach 20 years ago. I stopped doing it, but I used to teach, and it's difficult to break things down. I mean, depending on who they are, some tarot readers read by the book learned or whatever you want to call it. But I don't know, this way with these cards, it just feels like you said, you don't have to. It's just, they're authentically just right there in front of you. That's it,
Yes. But also, I mean, when you start learning, I have to say, when you start learning, yes, you do have to go by the book and you have to turn off your intuition just during the time of learning. That's it. But as soon as you start, you got it down, then you cannot do a reading without your intuition. You cannot do your reading without your psychic eye, your feeling, your gut feeling and all that kind of stuff, because this is where you will know. And I mean, the same thing with tarot, you just fly with it. You just go with it. And it's just that you will have in the back of your head, you will have that learning that these combination of cards means that and can mean that and can mean that. And when you're doing the reading, the right meaning will just pop in your head, and you will see like the whole sentence, just pop in your head like magical, I think.
Right, and like also use your own, and that's the way I read it. I know it's because identifying with my own personal experiences. I know that I connect with certain. I just connected my readings that way. It works for me. Did your book? Some books come. I was looking over. Some people are putting out decks now with their books. Is that true? Is that true?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, but your book does not have a deck of any cards, right? It's just the book, right? Which is great. It's just the book. And is there any particular? We only have a couple minutes, and because of that, I want you anything that you want to say or tell people about where or what you're up to or anything else, please do so as well. But before that, I wanted to ask you: is there any particular, if someone like me that's been doing, reading with it, or using the tarot for so many 25 years, or something, would there be any particular deck that you would advise me or direct me to?
Yes, I would say start with simple deck that is not very busy, and something that you like at the same time. because you have to like it to use it.
Right.
And then just try with something that's simple, that doesn't have, too many meanings on the card, too many other pictures on the card, too many,
Right.
you don't want to have, for example, the crossroad to have a, how do you say it, a stork on it. Then you'll be like, is that a stork or is it the crossroad? You know what I mean?
I see. So
you need the deck that only has that one symbol.
the traditional, I guess you'd call it the traditional Lenormand deck, that which is.
No, I mean, there's plenty of decks that are new right now that are using that. They're very simple. They're beautiful. They're amazing. Just pick something you like that is not very busy. Especially also when you're doing a grand tableau, you don't want something very busy because you want your mind to work quickly. It's like having, basically, this is how it is. It's like reading a billboard with words that are very clear and like, let's say, a clear backing, and another billboard that has words, but then that has other words in it and other words and other words, and it's like very, very busy that you really don't know what the message is. Right. So that's basically the difference between a busy deck and a more simple deck. But eventually, I would say, like, when you're, firm with your reading, then go ahead and get any deck you like. I mean,
absolutely.
It's a personal preference.
Right. Well, I really appreciate you joining us this evening and talking about everything you know. And is there anything, you'd like to share with us before I say goodbye?
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, and, of course.
I will be at attending San Francisco Bats in August, and I will be presenting. So
I live in California myself, so
please come.
I might try to get there.
Yeah, and bring the book. I'll sign it.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you so much. And we have you.
And I'll be also at Dallas TerraCon presenting. So that's in October 18, I think.
Okay, so August in San Fran. That's my birthday month. Okay, that sounds lovely. Maybe I will try to make it up there. Also, I wanted to let everybody know that if anybody wants to get in touch with you, we're at your website. It's RANA
George. That's my name, RanaGeorge.com.
.com.
RANAGEORGE. And you can find my book anywhere. It's already in its second printing. I'm so excited about that. I mean, in 1 month of it being out, and it was like the bestseller in Barnes & Noble, which is like huge to have a bestseller in Barnes & Noble. So I was flabbergasted. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's reading the book and getting the book, and I hope you all enjoy it and benefit from it. And go ahead and use Lenormand. Use it.
Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a great evening and bless your heart.
Thank you.
Good night, Rana. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hello, my name is Res Miranda. If you're having relationship, career, or life issues, I'm inviting you to experience what it's like to have access to professional, highly accurate psychics and spiritual advisors you can trust to care and help you. Register now to get your free 6-minute reading by telephone or chat. Get answers, get access, psychic access, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. PsychicAccess.com.